Hey everyone, welcome back. You ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dig in.
All right, well today we're tackling something that's been making headlines all over the crypto world.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss.
I mean, Mt. Gox, it's back in the spotlight.
Yep.
And let's be real, the news has even me a little on edge. I mean, we're talking thousands of Bitcoin suddenly on the move.
Billions of dollars.
And you know everyone's trying to decipher what it means for the future of Bitcoin. And trust me, I'm right there with you. So to help us unpack all of this, I've got a true crypto expert here with us today.
Hey.
Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty of this, I think it's important to rewind a bit, for anyone who might not be familiar with the whole Mt. Gox saga. So can you give us like a quick rundown of what Mt. Gox was and what exactly happened?
So Mt. Gox, basically, it was the OG Bitcoin exchange, right?
OG, like the original gangster.
Yeah. Exactly. Back in the really early days, like 2010, 2011, if you wanted to trade Bitcoin, Mt. Gox was pretty much the place to do it. They were handling, I think at one point, something crazy like 70% of all Bitcoin transactions globally.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, they were dominant, really completely dominated the market. But this is back when crypto was, well, it was like the Wild West.
Yeah.
Security wasn't exactly top of mind for a lot of these early platforms.
I bet.
And Mt. Gox, unfortunately, learned that the hard way. They actually got hit by a few smaller attacks, kind of leading up to the big one. Between 2010 and 2013, they lost, I don't know, maybe like 80,000 Bitcoin in total.
I mean, even that is a huge amount.
Absolutely. But then came 2014, and that's when things really unraveled. They got hit by this massive hack and poof, gone. Like 850,000 Bitcoin just vanished.
850,000. That's just an unfathomable number, especially when you think about how much Bitcoin is worth today.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about over $40 billion, just to give you a sense of the scale here. And, this was devastating. It sent shockwaves through the entire crypto community. This was a major turning point. I mean, it really eroded trust in the whole system, especially in exchanges.
Yeah. And I mean, understandably so.
Right. And, in the aftermath, Mt. Gox went bankrupt. Thousands of people lost their savings. And for years, it was like this cautionary tale, this reminder of just how volatile and risky this whole crypto world could be.
A ghost story, like the ghost of crypto past.
Exactly. Haunting everyone.
Okay, so we set the stage.
Yeah.
Mt. Gox, giant exchange, massive hack, billions of dollars gone. But this all happened, what, like almost a decade ago?
Right.
So why are we suddenly talking about Mt. Gox now?
So this is where things get really interesting. Just a couple weeks ago, there was this, well, I guess you could call it a flurry of activity coming from Mt. Gox-related wallets. The trustees who've been managing the remaining assets, they moved a huge chunk of Bitcoin, like 30,000 Bitcoin, to a new wallet. 30,000. And that's about $2.4 billion, just like that. And then on top of that, another 200 million went into cold storage. So you can imagine seeing these massive transfers. It kind of sent the crypto community into a frenzy. Everyone was like, what's going on? What are they doing?
I'll admit, even I got a little nervous when I saw the headlines. So can you break this down for us? Like, why are these transfers happening? What does it mean?
Well, nobody knows for sure what the trustees are planning, but the timing here, it's pretty significant. We're getting pretty close to the deadline for Mt. Gox creditors to finally get some of their money back, October 2025.
Oh, right. I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah, so the leading theory is that these big Bitcoin transfers, they're part of the preparation for those repayments.
So they might be getting ready to sell a lot of Bitcoin to pay people back.
Exactly. I mean, they have to get the funds from somewhere.
Right.
And of course, this has a lot of people worried about what it could do to Bitcoin's price.
That's what I was thinking. I mean, if they suddenly flood the market with that much Bitcoin, I mean, could that tank the price?
It's a possibility. I mean, basic economics, right? If the supply increases significantly and demand doesn't keep up, prices tend to go down.
Right. Supply and demand. That makes sense.
But Bitcoin, it's never been exactly predictable. I mean, remember back when we had the Bitcoin halving?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone and their mother was saying that the price was going to crash, but it didn't really happen, did it?
No, it didn't.
Bitcoin kind of has a mind of its own in a way. So while it's possible that a big influx of Bitcoin from Mt. Gox could push the price down, there's also a chance that the market just absorbs it.
Okay, so it might not be all doom and gloom.
Exactly. Some analysts are actually looking at this as a positive thing. They argue that resolving these Mt. Gox debts, it could actually increase confidence in Bitcoin long term. It kind of shows that even after a catastrophic event like this, things can eventually get sorted out. It brings closure to this whole chapter.
Right, so maybe this is like the final nail in the coffin for Mt. Gox. And that could be a good thing.
Potentially, yeah.
But it's still a lot of uncertainty hanging over the market. And it all comes back to this ghost of crypto past.
It does.
Okay, but beyond the whole price speculation and the market jitters, I feel like there's got to be a bigger takeaway here. Like, what does the Mt. Gox saga, what does it teach us about crypto and where it's come since then?
You're absolutely right. There are some really important lessons here. I mean, first and foremost, it highlights just how crucial security is in the crypto world.
I mean, yeah, $40 billion disappearing, I think that makes the point pretty clear.
Right. But think about it this way. The Mt. Gox hack, it was like a brutal wake-up call for the entire industry. Back then, security measures, they just weren't as sophisticated, as robust as they are now.
I mean, true, crypto was still pretty new back then.
Exactly. But this whole Mt. Gox debacle, it forced everyone to step up their game.
So in a way, the pain that those Mt. Gox investors went through, it kind of paved the way for a more secure crypto ecosystem for all of us.
That's one way to look at it. Exchanges today, they have to meet much higher security standards, and regulation has also played a big role in improving security overall.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
So even though this whole situation with Mt. Gox is definitely a bit unnerving, there's a silver lining in terms of how far security has come since then.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap this up, what's the one thing you'd want our listeners to really take away from this whole Mt. Gox situation?
Vigilance, it's great that the industry has made progress on the security front, but we can't get complacent. Mt. Gox, it's a stark reminder that even institutions that seem, too big to fail, they can be vulnerable. And crypto it's constantly evolving. New technologies are emerging, new risks are popping up. So you got to stay informed. You got to understand the potential risks and take the necessary precautions to protect your own crypto assets.
That's great advice. And it seems like the Mt. Gox saga, it's still unfolding. It's fascinating. It's a little nerve-wracking, but it's definitely a powerful reminder that the past can have a huge impact on the future of crypto. So we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this story as it develops, and we'll keep you all updated. So until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay vigilant.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.